From FreeFinCal, and this is a tool that you can use to compare the performance of a mutual fund with its benchmark, and you can find out how consistently the fund has outperformed the benchmark or the index in terms of return as well as in terms of risk. If you have been watching my mutual fund reviews or reading about them at freefincal.com, you'll recognize I use a similar tool for mutual fund review and analysis. And now this is the latest version of the tool. This is version 6, released today. You can download it from the link in the description box. In this version, I have checked if the tool is all aspects of the tool is working, because things change on the web from time to time. I have changed the complete list of mutual funds and the scheme codes, updated it to the latest one, so that the old file had got names like HDFC Prudence, HDFC Top 200 and so on. So I have changed all the names to new ones, and you will have that. So let me show you how the tool works and how to use it. This is a recording made in Mac. So what you're seeing is actually the Mac version of the tool. I cannot run the tool here. The tool will not run in Mac. There are some changes in the VBA code that has to be done for it to run in Mac. It will run only in Windows, so I'm not going to run the macros. So this has got macros, so you'll have to enable them, and there will be security warnings. You'll have to enable the macros. So this is the first. So you'll see the input sheet here. So in the input sheet, the first thing I want you to do is to read the thing in the red. It says follow steps 1 to 7 sequentially, fill only the green cells, and after you download the NAV, that is the here, and the index data, which is this, you can change these. You can change the fund or the index independently. Do not change any of the cells, any other cell or the cells in the red tabs. Please don't do that, because if you do that, then you will be messing up with the code. Of course, if you want to learn how to do it, this is an open source code. This is free. There's no money involved here. This is completely open source and free. You can, if you want to learn how to do it. Many people have asked me how to calculate rolling returns. Well, there are many ways to do it. This is one way, and it's a very non-optimal way to do it. I learned to do it many years ago, I think 5-6 years ago, because at that time my Excel skills were very, very poor. This is a very brute force, simple way of learning how to do rolling returns. So you can explore the sheet. So if you want to learn how to calculate rolling returns, you'll have to go to the fund page, the fund tab here, and then you'll have to just go here and unhide these cells, and you are there. These are the calculations here. You can pause the video later on and check. So these are the calculations. The calculations are here. You can just check it. Similarly, the identical calculations are done in benchmark for the benchmark sheet here. So let's go back here. So the first step is to type the first few letters of the mutual fund scheme. You just need to type the exact few letters, HDFC top 100 or whatever. Then, or you can type HDFC top, that's also will work. If you can type HDFC also, it will then list all the HDFC AMC schemes. Then you can choose the option. Choose always growth option. Never choose dividend option, because dividends are not factored in and the returns will be wrong. Always choose growth option. Of course, I have included the dividends just by brute force. I didn't want to filter them out. It's a painful exercise. But you have to use only growth option. So that you can choose between, there are only two choices: growth option regular plan or growth option direct plan. It's up to you. If you want to choose a long history, you have to choose the regular plan. Then you can choose the index for comparison. There are like, I don't know, 60 indices, I lost count. So you can go through all of them. I think the BSE 100, the BSE Sensex, they got from Money Control. They should still work. I forgot that the BSEs are there, only now I remember it. But all the Nifty indices will work, because I just checked it in the morning, so there's no problem. I think the Money Control should also work, because there's nothing wrong with it. I just checked for something else. So it should work. So you select the index, you select the mutual fund, then you click on this, it will download the NAV, then you click on this, it will download the index data. Then it will take a bit longer. You can see the progress. It will say 2%, 3%, 10% in this somewhere here in Windows. Before or after you do that, you will have to enter the interval over which the days over which you are calculating the rolling return. So you can use this simple calculator. 5 years means, so if you type, so this will work. So for example, that's 365. You can put 3 and that's 1095, and then you can enter here, or you can just set this cell to be equal to that 1095 cell. That will also be fine. The start date of the rolling return analysis. This is typically for old funds. This is the oldest date in the AMFI history files. That is the 3rd April. 3rd April 2006. After, beyond that you cannot get data, but after that it's possible. So if you are working with a newer fund which was launched only in 2013 or 2015 and so on, you can change this date, or you can just leave it. It doesn't matter. You don't need to change the dates. So that's the first input section. Then you have the analysis section where you are actually comparing the results. But I think don't come to this. Let's come back to that. So you can now see the normalized NAV from the date at which. So this start date will tell you the date at which this NAV will be set to 1, and then you can see the normalized growth. Here you see the HDFC Top 100 Fund versus Nifty 100 Total Returns Index. And this is the rolling returns graph. So you have 5-year rolling returns. You can see that here, you can see that there it's 5 years, and you can see so excuse me, a little slow here. Yeah. So this is the date that you see in the horizontal axis corresponds to the end of the rolling return period. So for example, if I choose this, it says okay, somewhere here. This is August 2013. If it is August 2013, this means the investment was made 5 years ago. That is in August 2008. So that's the final return seen here. So you can see that's a reasonable outperformance by HDFC Top 100. This is rolling returns, and then you can see the rolling risk here. So in terms of returns, higher the return is better. In terms of risk, lower the line. The line of the index fund should be lower than the the rolling risk line of the mutual fund that you are comparing should be lower than the that of the index to be in the ideal case. Then only its risk is lower. Lower the better. So again, it's the date corresponds to the end of the rolling return period. So that's it. Now you can go to the analysis if you want. If you are interested, or you can just visually check. That's good enough. It will tell you how many data points are there, how many for example, it will tell you number of times the fund has outperformed the index, 1658 out of 1987. So there are two different ways of calculating the rolling return. They'll give you typically the same results. It doesn't matter. So this is if you look at my mutual fund screeners, the consistency of the fund beating the index, that's what this is. That's 83 or 84%, whatever. So that's what's given here. You can check the other data. I'm not interested in talking about that. So that's it. So these other ones are just backend tab needed for getting the data and processing and so on. People have asked me, why don't I have 3 funds, 4 funds, 5 funds, 6 funds, and so on. It is very easy for you to add. It's a completely free and open source sheet. So you can yourself add any number of funds yourself. All you need to do is to click on this fund tab and just say move or copy. Do that, and then you can say create a copy right inside here, and it will create a copy for you. It will ask you to just say yes. There will be some messages saying can I use this index, can I use this symbol, and so on. Just say yes to everything. Then you will have a separate copy. What you should do is to if you know VBA, you can simply give an option here. Should this data go to fund 1 or fund 2 and so on, or you can just get this data that's downloaded here. Get this data and copy it on fund 2. But if it will also get copied on fund 1, so there are ways in which you can prevent it and so on. If you know basic VBA, you should be able to do it. This is how I do it for my fund reviews. I just make this copy, so you can also do it. There's nothing special about it and so on. See, please recognize the more sheets you add, the more calculations you add, the Excel will become very bulky. Then you need enough RAM for it to process. Otherwise, it will not process. At 4 GB, I was really struggling to process the sheet. I now converted my Windows to 8 GB. Now only I am able to comfortably run the sheet. So you need enough RAM. So don't get greedy and start adding funds and so on. The Excel will start hanging. Whatever you do not touch your basic sheet. My suggestion is stick to one fund. What you do is run one fund with its index. Then go here. Take a screenshot go to the risk, take a screenshot, save it somewhere, then now do the second fund, compare it one by one. How long will it take? Just a matter of and it's also nice, it's also therapeutic sometimes to do this. So don't over analyze. It's just a method to get you some idea of how the fund is consistently performing. So please download the sheet, have a go at it, let me know if there are any issues, and so that's what I wanted to say in this video. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye bye.